This is the ultimate camera comparison video of Galaxy A56 versus Samsung Galaxy S23 Fan Edition. We're testing the audio using selfie camera in UHD 30 FPS. We have triple camera setup on both phones. The only difference is the macro sensor on Galaxy A56 and 8 megapixel telephoto on Samsung Galaxy S23 Fan Edition. This will be a really good fight for both phones. Let the battle begin.
New era. Here we go.
On the widest field of view, which is 1x, you will notice that Galaxy A56 has stronger contrast than the competition. You have a brighter image on Galaxy S23 FE, but if the subject is far from the phone, you might miss the bokeh on Galaxy A56.
I make the rules, I run the show.
But the good thing about A56 is it controls the flaring better than Galaxy S23 Fan Edition. The lenses on S23 FE attracts more flare than the competition. But most of the time, if you shoot portrait shot on 2x, you would see a lot of details on the face, just a difference on skin tone, warmer on Galaxy A56.
New era, like a phoenix, I rose up.
What I like about these Samsung phones is the edge detection. They're really good looking at the hair and the shirt. Samsung perfected portrait shots.
Show up. I'm on fire, flames going higher. I'm in my new era.
The biggest difference is the portrait zoom. We have 3x on the flagship S23 FE and we only have 2 focal lengths on portrait mode for Galaxy A56. You will see that the background blur is creamier on the 3x compared to the regular 2x on A56.
Era. Stepping into the new era. Say goodbye.
In terms of selfie, both phones are really good. You have really good details on both phones. The face are very detailed, just a difference on the skin tone, reddish on A56 and yellowish on S23 FE.
The trendsetter. I'll show you how to the new era. I'm about to flip the script, flip the switch, magic trick. Watch this, watch this. I'm about to make you trip, make you.
We are starting this video quality test with a selfie video recording UHD 30 FPS. We can also shoot 4K 60 FPS on Galaxy S23 Fan Edition. So in terms of specification, we have 10 megapixel sensor f2.4 on Samsung Galaxy S23 Fan Edition, and we have a new 12 megapixel f2.2 on Samsung Galaxy A56. In terms of video quality, brighter skin on Galaxy S24 Fan Edition, and we have more colors on Galaxy A56. In terms of contrast, you have stronger contrast on Samsung Galaxy A56. This is a really good sensor for a mid-range phone. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're checking the rear camera, starting with the ultra-wide lens, again UHD 30 FPS. In terms of specification, we have 12 megapixel sensor, f2.2 on Samsung Galaxy S23 FE. Also the same as A56. The only difference here is the sensor size, 1/3 on S23 FE and 1/3.06. A little bit smaller on Galaxy A56, but in terms of field of view, 0.6x on S23 FE, and we have 0.5 on Galaxy A56, a little bit wider on the mid-range phone. I think that's it for the ultra-wide test. Now let's check the main sensor. Now we're testing the main sensor, so both 50 megapixel sensor f1.8 with 1/1.56 on A56 and 1/1.57 on S23 FE. In terms of video quality, a little bit washed out on S23 FE, and we have better contrast on Samsung Galaxy A56. Look at this ball. Do you see any difference in terms of color profile? I think that's it for the main sensor. Now let's check the zoom. Now we're testing the telephoto zoom, 10 megapixel or rather 8 megapixel on Samsung Galaxy S23 FE, and we're just cropping in on A56 using the main sensor. In terms of video quality, which phone do you think is better? We also have 8K video recording on Galaxy S23 FE, 8K 24 FPS. I forgot to mention it on our main sensor test. Later we will do the outdoor shot and I will show you the 8K video recording. I think that's it for the video quality test. Now let's check the image quality. There's a difference in color rendition for both phones. You have a brighter colors on Galaxy A56. If you look on the sky, it is lighter than the competition. And going indoors, you will see that the pink, green, and yellow are popping out a little bit more. It's more vivid and brighter than the Fan Edition. But going for close-up shots, you would see that there's a lot of details on both phones. They have the same 50 megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture. I should say there's better dynamic range on Galaxy A56 and S23 FE is crushing the shadows a bit more. This boils down to personal preference, and because of the bigger sensor, the focus area is really sharp and spot on looking at the close-up shots.
Like a burning flame that would never
Honestly, we're just nitpicking on both phones. If you're not doing a side-by-side test, you might not notice the difference which phone is which.
You are my greatest illusion, my consolation pride.
In terms of field of view, we have ultra-wide main sensor and 3x optical zoom. We also have crop on Galaxy A56. But in terms of the 4D zoom, we have 30x on the flagship S23 FE. We have macro shot on Galaxy A56, but I think the telephoto is better. Slow motion is quite a surprise. Both can shoot full HD, but you have better colors on Galaxy A56. Now we're testing the outdoor and video stabilization of Samsung Galaxy S23 FE and A56 using the selfie camera. Look at the clouds. Almost the same look, same color, maybe darker on S23 Fan Edition. Look at the grass and the details on my face. Both 4K, so really good details on my face. Let's check the video stabilization. Alright, let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the rear camera test, starting with the ultra wide lens. Again, 4K 30 FPS in terms of autofocus. Which phone is faster? Looking at the grass and the trees here. Same exposure on both phones. Now let's check video stabilization. Now we're switching to the main sensor. So both 50 megapixel sensor. Again, lighter sky on A56 and darker on S23 FE in terms of colors. More vivid on Galaxy A56, looking at the grass and the house. Again, autofocus test. Faster on S23 FE. Or, let's check again. Faster on A56. Look at that. One more. And let's do the video stabilization. Now we also have 3x optical zoom on S23 FE, 8 megapixel, and we're just cropping in on A56. In terms of details, looking at the house, better details on A56. Maybe over sharpening a little bit. Maybe in terms of natural looking video, I would go with S23 FE, but sharpening, I would probably go with A56. Looking at the tree, yes, it's better on Galaxy S23 Fan Edition. Let's check the video stabilization. And going to the 4D zoom, we got 10x on A56 and 12x on S23 FE. Better details on the Fan Edition. Switching back to the ultra wide. Which phone do you think is better? Night shot with enough light is close. I think you just have a stronger contrast on S23 FE and brighter on Galaxy A56. We will see more colors on A56 looking at the car and the sky, but the grass is yellowish on S23 FE. On pitch black condition, this is where the flagship phone wins over the mid-range rival. We have better exposed and sharper image on Galaxy S23 FE. I should say Galaxy A56 has cleaner output with less noise. Checking all field of view, S23 FE wins the ultra wide. I'll give the main sensor and even the zoom to Galaxy A56. This is our low light video test, starting with the selfie video recording in UHD 30 FPS. Look at the quality of my face. Brighter and a little bit muted on Samsung Galaxy S23 FE, and you have natural looking skin tone on Galaxy A56. This is what I like about A56. It has a great selfie camera. We have a 12 megapixel sensor on the mid-range Samsung, and we have 10 megapixel, only 10 megapixel on S23 FE. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now, this is the rear camera starting with the ultra-wide lens, again in UHD 30 FPS. So we have a 12 megapixel sensor, both 12 megapixel sensor on both phones, f2.2. In terms of video quality, Galaxy S23 FE is a little bit reddish, while you have natural looking tone, a little bit yellowish on A56 because that's the color of the lamp. You would see the difference on the ceiling. I think that's it for the ultra-wide lens. Now let's check the main camera. Now, this is the main sensor, again in 4K 30 FPS. So we have 50 megapixel sensor on both phones, f1.8. We have 1/1.57 on S23 FE, and just a little bit smaller at 1/1.56.01 on Galaxy A56. In terms of video quality, I like the brightness, exposure, and the sharpness on Galaxy A56. But in terms of low-light video recording, this is the best sensors for both phones in terms of capturing a low-light video. I think that's it for the main sensor. Now let's check the zoom. Now we're testing the zoom capabilities of both phones. So we only have crop on Galaxy A56, cropping in on the 50 megapixel sensor, and we have an 8 megapixel telephoto on Galaxy S23 FE. Look at the quality on the low-light video recording. I can't see myself right now, so you'll be the judge which phone is better in terms of the zoom. So adding the ultra-wide main sensor and the selfie, which phone do you think is better overall on the low-light video recording? Now let's check the video resolution. This is the video resolution test starting with A56 in 4K 30 FPS. All sensors on this phone, from the ultra-wide main sensor and selfie, can only shoot 4K 30 FPS. And this is Samsung Galaxy S23 FE in 8K 24 FPS. Cinematic video recording on Galaxy S23 FE. I think that's it for our comparison video. Which phone is better in terms of video performance? Leave your comment down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.